You spent 12 years in school, not one class on money. That wasn't an accident. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you 5 things about money that the people who designed your education didn't want you to know. Not conspiracy theory stuff, not get rich quick nonsense. Just the actual truth backed by behavioral economics, financial history, and a lot of things they really should have taught us in school. Let's get into it. So here's the first thing. The fact that you were never taught personal finance in school, that's not an oversight. Education systems in most countries were designed in the industrial era. The goal was to produce workers, not wealth builders. And workers who don't understand money, they stay workers. Think about what you were taught. Algebra, the water cycle, how to dissect a frog. All useful things, I'm sure. But compound interest, how a credit card actually costs you money. The difference between an asset and a liability, what a mutual fund is, nothing. And here's what's wild about that. The people making decisions about your education, they absolutely knew about these things. Their kids learned them at home, from private tutors, at elite schools. The knowledge existed, it just wasn't passed down to everyone. This isn't about blaming anyone, it's about recognizing the gap, because once you see it, you can start filling it yourself, which is exactly what this channel is for. The second thing they got wrong, maybe the most damaging one, is this idea that hard work equals financial security. You've heard it your whole life. Work hard, save money, and you'll be fine. And I want to be careful here because I'm not saying hard work doesn't matter. It does. But here's what that advice leaves out. Hard work builds income. Income alone does not build wealth. Wealth is built by what your money does when you're not working. By assets, by investments, by money making money. A doctor who earns $300,000 a year and spends $280,000 is not wealthy. They're one bad year away from financial crisis. A teacher who earns $50,000, spends $35,000, invests the rest consistently, and understands compound growth over 30 years. That teacher could retire with more than the doctor. The math doesn't care how hard you worked. It cares where your money went. We were taught to earn. We were never taught to build. And that's not a personal failure. It's a missing education. Third thing, and this one is genuinely wild. You were taught implicitly or explicitly that if you're bad with money, it's because you're irresponsible. You lack discipline. You're just not a money person. That framing is not only wrong, it's actively harmful because it makes you feel like a personal failure instead of pointing at the real problem. The real problem is that the human brain is literally wired to make bad financial decisions. There's a concept in behavioral economics called loss aversion. It means that losing $100 feels about twice as bad as gaining $100 feels good. Your brain hates losing more than it loves winning. This makes you do things like hold losing investments too long, sell winning ones too early, avoid starting a savings plan because a small amount feels pointless, and spend money today because saving feels like a loss in the present. These are not character flaws. They're features of a brain that evolved to survive on a savanna, not navigate a modern financial system. Once you understand that, you stop beating yourself up and start building systems that work with your brain instead of against it. We're going to cover a lot of those systems on this channel. Fourth thing, and I want to say this especially for anyone watching who isn't in the United States, United Kingdom, or Western Europe. Almost every major finance channel on YouTube, every best-selling finance book was created for stable economies with stable currencies. Max out your 400, 1000. Buy index funds and wait. Your money is safe in a high-yield savings account. That advice assumes your currency holds its value, that your banking system is reliable, that inflation runs at 2 or 3% a year. If you're in a country where inflation runs at 15, 20, 30%, and there are a lot of those countries, that advice doesn't just fail to help you. It can actively hurt you. Saving in a local currency that's losing value is not safety. It's slow motion loss. The playbook for building wealth in a volatile economy is genuinely different. You need to think about hard assets, about dollar-denominated accounts, about why stablecoins aren't just for crypto people. They're becoming a financial survival tool for millions of people around the world. The financial system wasn't built equally, and the advice you consume should reflect the reality you actually live in. That's something we're going to go deep on in this channel. Real advice for real economies. And the fifth thing, the one almost nobody talks about, is what happens to your money when you die. I know, dark topic, stick with me. We are never taught about financial end of life planning. Not in school, not by our parents, not by any finance content creator I've ever seen cover it seriously. And the result is that every single year, families go through the grief of losing someone and then discover that the money, the accounts, the investments, the crypto, they can't access any of it because there's no will, no beneficiary designation, no written down password to a wallet. Banks legally freeze accounts. Courts get involved. Families spend years and thousands of dollars fighting over assets that were always meant for them. If you have crypto, this is especially urgent. Crypto doesn't have a bank that will unlock your account after you're gone. If no one has your keys, that money is gone forever. Building wealth is only half the job. Making sure that wealth survives you, that actually reaches the people you care about, that's the other half. And almost no one is talking about it. We will. So, 5 things they got wrong. The education system left out financial literacy on purpose. Hard work builds income, not wealth. Your brain is biologically wired against good financial decisions. Most money advice was built for a different country than yours. And nobody is teaching you what happens to your wealth when you're gone. Not stock tips, not hype. Not telling you to get rich fast, just the truth about money. The stuff you should have learned a long time ago. Explained clearly so you can actually do something with it. If that sounds like the channel you've been looking for, subscribe and hit the bell. Because next week we're going somewhere most finance content is too afraid to go. Inside the neuroscience of why smart people stay broke. You don't want to miss it.